Hello and welcome to this video. Today I will be proving the Pythagorean Theorem with a method for people who are bad at math. This video will be pretty long, so I'll dive right into it. We'll be tackling a few things. What exactly is the Pythagorean Theorem? What is its formula? How do we prove it if we're bad at math like Gwen? And, in the end, how and why is our method correct? First things first. The Pythagorean theorem is the theorem where the square of the hypotenuse of a right triangle is equal to the sum of the squares of the two other sides. That sounds pretty complicated, but it was Google who gave me that information, so let me simplify it for you. In simple terms, the Pythagorean theorem is basically the sum of the squares of the shorter sides. That will be the length of the longer side. This applies to right triangles, and I repeat, right triangles. Now that we know what it is, what's the formula we'll be proving today? The formula we'll be proving is the Pythagorean theorem formula, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Next things next. Before we dive into the world of math, let's look at art, as it is pretty similar to what we'll be tackling today. In art, there are positive and negative spaces. The positive space is the space taken up by an object, and the negative space is the space around the object. The black represents the positive and negative spaces of the drawing respectively. Now that we know what positive and negative spaces are, we can connect them to math. Let's say that all colors except for red in this illustration by Ted Ed are positive spaces. The red is the negative space. There are 4 C's in the negative space, and we need to find its area. Therefore, the negative space's area will be c squared because area is length times width. Now, I want you to remember this because the negative spaces will change later on. Well, now that we've established that the area of the negative space is c squared, this just shows it with the color white. Remember when I told you that the positive and negative spaces will change later on? This is because of our method, the method that we'll be using today, which is called the method of rearrangement. The method of rearrangement is basically taking all 4 triangles and rearranging them to form not 1 negative space, but 2. Before that though, let's identify where the 4 triangles are. Pause the video if you need some time to think. Found them yet? Well, here they are. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Rearrange them into what is shown in the picture. Let's say that the shorter sides of the triangle are A and the longer sides are B. These of course are interchangeable, but I decided to just follow Ted Ed's illustration. Again, the 4 triangles are still here, arranged into rectangles to create negative spaces. But let's look at what we've created. We've made 2 negative space boxes symbolized by white, and we need to find the area of these boxes. Again, area is length times width. So we multiply B by B and A by A. This gives us the area of the 2 negative spaces. Notice anything? If you said that adding the negative spaces of A and B equal to the negative space of C, then you're correct. You might be wondering how we're correct with a method as simple as that. Well, here's the explanation. We're correct because the triangle areas did not change, even though we rearranged them. Remember, it is important that we simply rearrange and not change anything. This is important so that we don't mess up the formula. This also has something to do with the negative and positive spaces because we can confirm that the negative space of 1, the white portion, is equal to the negative spaces of the other. Therefore, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. The end. Thank you for watching, and I hope that this clarified a few things about the Pythagorean theorem. We've just proved it!